Here I am again making another video. What's this video about? God, it's hot today, I'm telling you. This video is about some conspiracy theories that you've been hearing all over the place, all over the internet. Everybody's saying that China owns the United States because of all the debt. Now, I'm hearing people over there in Europe, and these people are supposed to be smart people. They're big economists over there in the UK, saying that the United States is owned by China, and that's just fucking stupid.
Correct. Why are people selling the European currency and buying the US dollar?
Because the US economy is so much stronger than the European economy.
Correct. Why is that, Roger?
Because it's owned by China.
Correct, and very well done.
You know, and the reason why they're saying that is because we owe so much money to the Chinese. But, you know, we owe almost $16 trillion out in debt, okay? But, you know, according to the Business Insider, 1.6 trillion is all we owe to the Chinese. 8% of our debt is owed to the Chinese. We owe 0.9% to Hong Kong. I guess that's Chinese anyway. Okay, 1% to the Caribbean banking centers. We owe 1.1% to Taiwan, 1.5% to Brazil. We owe 1.6% of our debt to OPEC, oil exporting countries. We owe 2% to mutual funds, which means that people actually purposely invested into our debt. Okay, commercial banks, we owe 2.1% of our debt. State, local, federal retirement funds, 2.2%. That means, like, you know, if you're if you work for some municipality, the New York City Sanitation Department, the pensions are funded by the debt. Excuse me. Money market mutual funds, 2.4%. Money market, that's a pretty good investment. United Kingdom, we owe 2.4% of our debt, or $346.5 billion. Private pension funds, 3.5%. State, local governments, 3.5%. Japan, we owe 6.4% of our debt. U.S. households, we owe 6.6% of our debt. China, 1.16%. That's excluding Hong Kong. United States Treasury, 11.3%. We owe 11.3% of our debt to the United States Treasury. Go figure, right? And here's the ugly one. Social Security Trust Fund, 19%. If you've been putting money into Social Security your whole life like I have, and the economy goes bust, yeah, you know, we're fucked. We really are. But, however, okay, so, well, America owes to foreigners $4.5 trillion. It owes to Americans, by this list, $9.8 trillion. So 2/3 of our debt is owned by Americans, not by the Chinese, not by foreigners. All the foreigners combined is only 1/3, $4 trillion. And China is 8%, plus Hong Kong, if you can throw that in, is 0.9. So almost 9% somehow trickles to the Chinese government. That is not the Chinese owning United States of America. First of all, you know, this debt stuff, you know, it's a kind of an investment anyway. If we default on our debt to the Chinese, they just don't come in, well, we'll just take California. It just doesn't work that way. If I invested into, you know, double E bonds, at any time, the Treasury can say, you know what, we're not paying out on double E bonds. And I lost everything I put into them. You know, if I invest into Exxon, and Exxon can any time say, well, you know what, we're just not paying you dividends anymore. We just don't have the money. You know, your stock went bust. Or the bonds that you bought went bust. You know, I don't own Exxon because of that. I lost my money. And that's the same exact thing that would happen with China. The whole thing is a conspiracy theory. Stop thinking that China owns us. It's just nonsense. It's just unbelievable. This is not why you should be prepping. You should be prepping because of natural disasters. If there is an economic collapse, which is possible or likely, you know, we're not going to owe it all to China. You know, we're going to default our own people. So, you know, we don't owe China doesn't own us. That's just nonsense. Please stop. Anybody's thinking that kind of crap, please stop thinking it. Okay. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. If you know you want to prep, which is great, you should prep. You know, FEMA wants you to prep. FEMA wants you to have at least 3 days worth of food and water in your house. Well, 3 days worth of provisions, wherever that happens to be. Whereas Homeland Security, people are saying that Homeland Security, if you prep, then they consider you a terrorist. And they're not saying that at all. No way they're saying it. Homeland Security wants you to prep. The people that work in the offices of Homeland Security want you to be prepared. You call up anybody in Homeland Security and say, hey, would I be a terrorist because I got 6 months of food in my house? They're going to say, no, stupid, you're smart. You should have 6 months worth of food in your house. It's just idiotic. What they're saying is this. They're saying if you're a prepper and you go so far to join like a paramilitary group, you know, and you go up and you do all kinds of, you know, training to, you know, that, and they're going to keep a watchful eye on you. That's what they're saying. If you could take your prepping to the point whereas you got to start buying all kinds of crazy guns and all that, which you're allowed to buy guns. You know, preppers believe in the Second Amendment. Everybody understands that. FEMA understands that. Homeland Security understands that. The President understands that. There's nothing wrong with buying guns and ammo. It's part of our constitutional right. However, you start joining all kinds of militias, and they see you going training and all that. They're not saying you're a terrorist. They're saying they're going to keep an open eye on you because some of us might be, or might, you know, get a little carried away with it and say, you know what, the government, you know, I don't like what they're doing, so let's go invade the White House. And that's what they're trying to say. You know, they're not saying you are a terrorist. They're trying to say they're going to keep an eye on the paramilitary groups. Which I guess you can kind of understand that. You know what I mean? Their job is to defend us from terrorism. And if we're running out through the woods every day training, and, you know, a lot of us were in the military. That's great, you know. But some of us are just a bunch of fucking dopes with guns that should not be doing this sort of thing, you know, and they get a little carried away with it, you know. They go out there, you know, they're drinking and all this other stuff, and you got guns in their hands. It could create a disastrous situation. They're not saying you are a terrorist. They're saying that they're going to kind of keep an eye on you, and, you know, any responsible, you know, anybody who's realistic and kind of responsible would want somebody watching, you know, some of these people, because they do get kind of carried away. Anyway, you know, the point in this video is to say, you know, when it comes down to conspiracies and all that, you know, don't prep because of the conspiracies. You might not believe, you know, or support everything I say about the paramilitary groups, or, you know, with FEMA and Homeland Security and all this in China. But, you know, the point is that you understand that there's just a lot of conspiracies out there that can easily propel somebody into a different level of prepping beyond what is really practical. You know what I mean? So, you know, don't start hoarding food for, you know, 10 years worth of food and take up the whole bedroom in your house, you know, because you think that, you know, the government is going to come do a gun grab and take, you know, and you know, and the whole new world order is going to come, and we're all going to be fucked and out of work and all that other shit. You know, prep because of natural disasters. Prep because, you know, prep for whatever you feel you should be prepping for. But, you know, have a realistic sense of what you're prepping. You know, don't prep, but don't prep because of paranoia. Don't prep because of conspiracies. You know, prep because it's a smart thing to do. Anyway, I hope I didn't blow this video. I know I'm hot and I'm sweating and my voice is on the crack. But good luck to you. You know, I don't know what more to say about this whole thing. You know, all I know is, you know, just prep for the right reasons. Anyway, thanks for watching.